It feels like over the last few months, we've seen a massive shift in the gaming industry as gamers everywhere are voicing their complaints about the current status quo, especially when it comes to someone like Sony. Just in the past couple weeks and months, we've seen controversy after controversy, whether it's Stellar Blade and people complaining that it seems like Sony may have forced some censorship of this game, that while it's true, it's been received incredibly well by the audience that's played it and is sold incredibly well from what we can hear. There's still a lot of gamers that are upset, a lot of customers that are upset that it looks like Sony may have forced some censorship in this game. And of course, we saw the massive blow up that was Helldivers 2. When Sony tried to force linking PlayStation Network accounts, we saw once again customers, gamers, they said, no, we're not going to do that. A massive wave of backlash towards Sony until they actually ended up reversing course. However, the job is not done. The devs for Helldivers 2 have very much been forceful with saying they are working on getting Sony to put those back up there, to make it available in all the countries that Sony took it down from that don't have access to PlayStation Network. Well, now, once again today, it looks like Sony and PlayStation are getting some more news that people that have been working with them for years and years, the name that is synonymous with PlayStation exclusive at this point, is no longer going to be PlayStation exclusive. Square Enix is done with PlayStation exclusivity after profit drop. We're seeing a change in the gaming industry, especially in the AAA gaming industry, as so many people are kind of rejecting the stuff that they've been putting out. So many people rejecting some of the things that you're forced to buy into when you're dealing with AAA gaming, whether that be woke DEI nonsense, whether that be insane requirements for linking this or linking that. And now it looks like that's gone far enough that Square Enix, a company who has been doing PlayStation exclusives, especially when it comes to Final Fantasy and things like that, for years, that's no longer going to be their business model. Square Enix wants an open relationship. Even though Square Enix and Sony's partnership goes back years, something has to change for the publisher, it's realized, and that includes getting its biggest games outside the reach of a single console. In its latest earnings release, Square Enix reported a profit drop of nearly 70% year over year, thanks in part to MMO and mobile declines and also growing operating losses from high dev cost amortization, even if sales are up slightly. But the company has made it clear it plans to make most of those high development costs with releases on more platforms. Square Enix will, quote, aggressively pursue a multi-platform strategy that includes Nintendo platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and PCs. And for PlayStation, we've seen them try to delve into that, making some of their exclusives available on PC, 2-3 years after release. But right now, it looks like Square Enix is saying, you know what, that's not enough. We need to be able to sell everything we can on as many platforms as possible to get the profits back where they want them to be. Many of Square Enix's biggest games have been locked into one-platform partnerships, like last year's Final Fantasy XVI and this year's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which was a disappointing sales number for them, both out on a single system, the PS5. Even if that console is very popular, Square Enix now fully understands they cannot limit themselves to this strategy, no matter what kind of relationship they've had with Sony. And again, it just seems like the last couple weeks, the last month really, there's been a lot of pressure on Sony. We saw them back off, at least partway in that Helldivers 2 situation. The devs, Arrowhead devs, still working on getting that rectified. We'll see if eventually it is available worldwide like it was before the PSN linking requirements were there, and then they backed off on it. But to me, all of this really says that there is a shift. There's a real shift that's gone on in gaming, that people are speaking out a lot more, that people are pushing back, regardless of how much woke games journalists, right, want to shit on gamers and want to have the side of basically all the devs and all the corporations at all times. It seems like the way that Sony has been trying to do business with these exclusives, that's been their business model for forever, right? PS5, PS4, whatever, PS3 exclusives. Get these exclusive games only on PlayStation, and that's how they sell the consoles, that's how they do business. Well, one of the major players for that in Square Enix, Final Fantasy games, it does not sound like that is the plan going forward. PS exclusives, no more. Now it's going to be available to everybody. At least that's what Square Enix stated today. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.